Civil society organizations, or CSOs, are not-for-profit, voluntary entities formed by people at the local, national, and international level. Most CSOs in the Global South are reliant on international or foreign aid, which makes up a large portion of their operating budget. To secure funding, CSOs must fiercely compete with one another for donor support. CSOs are under pressure to show that they successfully reach their targets and objectives. Donors essentially set the agenda and requirements for funding, and CSOs must comply. This power dynamic makes it difficult to speak openly when things are not working. This lack of communication and feedback is heightened in workplaces where hierarchical structures are a priority. The risk of being perceived as being incompetent when admitting failure means that those at the top may not be aware of issues on the ground. Mentioning areas for improvement in day-to-day services and programming may also hinder the chances of career progression in these structures. It comes as no surprise that employees at all levels are reluctant to speak openly when things are not working. From a donor perspective, there appears to be a work culture in the international development sector which overemphasizes results. Some donor representatives feel like they are being evaluated purely on the final outcomes of a program. When donor representatives report back on the use of taxpayers' money, the focus is mainly on showcasing quantitative data to paint the successes of a project. Although donor representatives may be aware of some of the realities on the ground through site visits and assessments, existing reporting mechanisms do not incentivize complex storytelling and instead places emphasis on data that is not able to capture the complexity of programming. Even when needed changes are identified, the highly bureaucratic nature of donor agencies can make it very difficult to make adaptations quickly. CSOs are often required to follow time-consuming protocols to request changes to program implementation. This disincentivizes a culture of adaptation and innovation. To move past these barriers, leaders within CSOs and donor organizations can both establish workplace cultures that encourage staff to speak openly about failure. Project leaders need to move toward open feedback to identify what is not working without placing blame or singling out individual actions. CSOs are well placed to advise donors on what does and does not work early in the design phase to ensure that outdated and expensive programs are replaced with what works. There is a real need for donors to engage regularly at the implementation level with CSOs to better understand the local context. A deeper understanding of the local context and realities of program implementation is the foundation to support CSOs in making necessary adaptations throughout a project lifecycle. Although failure can be tough and awkward to acknowledge and address, these moments will contribute to long-term learning and improvement of programming. Learning from our failures is the key to ensuring the needs of the people our projects aim to serve are truly met.